I want to tell you about something that happened a few months ago that I still think about. A woman I know, stylish, confident, someone who has always known how to dress, posted a photo from a birthday dinner. Beautiful setting, great hair, and she looked, in that photo, about 10 years older than she does in real life. She called me the next day, said she couldn't figure out what went wrong. She'd worn what she always wears. She felt good leaving the house. I asked her one question. What top was it? She described it, and I knew immediately. It wasn't her face, it wasn't her hair, it wasn't the lighting, it was the top, the cut, the color, the neckline. Every single element of it was working against her, quietly, in ways she had no framework to see. That's what this video is about. Because most women over 60 are wearing tops that look fine on the hanger, fine in the store mirror, fine for about 10 minutes, and then something in a photo, or a reflection, or a glance across a room tells them something went wrong, and they can't name what it was. I can name it. There are 7 tops that consistently do the opposite, that actually work with the way light falls on mature skin, the way proportion reads on a body over 60, and the way the eye travels across a silhouette. And I'm going to give you the actual visual mechanism behind each one, not just the name, so you understand why it works and can use that knowledge every time you shop. There's one on this list, number 4, that almost every woman has written off as too casual, too basic, too ordinary to matter. It's probably hanging in your closet right now, and it's one of the most powerful youth reading tops available to you at zero cost. We'll get there. Welcome back to Style After 60, where we get into the real mechanics of why style works. Not just what's trending. If that's your kind of content, the subscribe button is right there. It genuinely helps. Top 1. The wrap top. And if you already own one and aren't wearing it regularly, this is your reminder. Here's the mechanism. Because this one is doing 2 jobs at once. First, the V neckline created by the wrap pulls the eye vertically, straight up toward the face, elongating the neck and drawing attention to your collarbone and expression rather than letting the eye settle on the mid-body. Wrap tops also define the waist directly, which most tops over 60 are specifically avoiding, and that avoidance is the problem. Here's what I mean by that. As the body naturally shifts with time, the default styling advice becomes go looser, go bigger, cover more, and there's a point where that logic starts working against you. A completely undefined silhouette from shoulder to hip reads as shapeless, and shapeless reads as heavy and dated, regardless of the actual body underneath it. A wrap top solves that by creating a defined waist without requiring a belt, a tuck, or a perfectly fitted cut. The fabric does the work for you. Wrap blouses are ideal for creating shape and definition, making them a great option for women looking to accentuate their waistline. They're perfect for both casual and semi-formal occasions. The do-it-today version. If you own a wrap top, try tying it slightly tighter at the waist than you normally would, just a ½ inch more, and look at the difference. That extra ½ inch of definition changes the entire read of the silhouette. Top 2. The soft V-neck knit. And specifically, not a deep plunge, not a wide scoop, just a clean, moderate V in a fabric that drapes rather than clings. The V neckline's power lies in physics. The downward angle creates vertical lines that draw the eye upward, balancing proportions and elongating the frame. On a mature face and neck, that upward pull is the entire game. It leads every single person you're talking to directly toward your eyes and face before their gaze goes anywhere else. Now here's the detail most people miss. Fabric choice matters as much as neckline shape on this one. A clingy knit V-neck follows every contour of the body and moves with every shift of posture, meaning the eye gets distracted by the fabric's movement rather than directed upward by the neckline. A soft, medium-weight knit with some drape holds a shape slightly away from the body and lets the V-line do its job without interference. For women with narrow shoulders or a smaller bust, The V-neck or scoop neck offers an easy, universally flattering neckline that always looks current. And for everyone else, the moderate V is the version that hits the sweet spot. Enough opening to elongate. Not so deep it becomes the focal point itself. Do it today. If you own a V-neck top in a clingy fabric and one in a drapey fabric, wear both in a mirror back to back. The difference isn't about the V, it's about the fabric's relationship to your body. Top 3. Quick one, but don't skip it. The boat neck, single mechanism. Clearly, a boat neck sits wide on the shoulders, making them look broader. And broader shoulders instantly create the illusion of an hourglass shape by narrowing the visual width of the hips in comparison. That's it. That's the whole trick. One horizontal line at the shoulder, and the proportion of the entire silhouette shifts. The boat neck runs straight across from shoulder to shoulder, sitting just below the collarbone. It's flattering on pear-shaped figures, smaller busts, and anyone who loves a polished, structured look. The styling note. Keep the neckline itself clean. A boat neck worn with a chunky necklace cancels the shoulder broadening effect because the eye gets pulled to center rather than following the line outward. If you want to accessorize, keep it to earrings with a boat neck. They frame the face without competing with the neckline's horizontal job. Top 4. Here it is, the one I promised. The half-tucked button-down shirt. I know. You've probably categorized this as weekend errand running, or something I throw on for yard work. And that mental category has been quietly keeping you from one of the most youth-reading styling moves available in your closet right now. Here's the mechanism, and there are actually 2 things happening simultaneously. First, a half-tuck creates a waist anchor. You tuck the front of the shirt in. Leave the sides and back loose. And the result is a defined waistline that doesn't require the shirt to actually fit your waist. The partial tuck prevents a boxy, shapeless silhouette that can make women look older than they are, while the soft fabrication allows for movement and comfort. Second, and this is the part people don't realize, a button-down shirt with 2 or 3 buttons open creates a modified V neckline above the buttons, combining the vertical eye pull of a V-neck with the structure and polish of a collar. You get 2 flattering neckline effects from one garment. I've worked with clients who owned beautiful button-down shirts they wore completely untucked, fully buttoned, and wondered why the whole outfit read as unintentional. The shirt hadn't changed, just where the fabric ended relative to the waist, and where the neckline opened. Do it today. Take any button-down you own, open 2 or 3 buttons at the collar, tuck only the front center into your bottoms, and look at the before and after in a mirror. Same shirt, completely different outfit. Top 5. The Peplum top, and specifically the modern version with a subtle, undramatic peplum. Not the stiff theatrical one from a decade ago that made everyone look like they were wearing a lampshade. Peplum tops are great for apple shapes who want to create waist definition. They define the narrowest point of the torso and then flare slightly below it, which creates the visual suggestion of a waist, even where the natural waist has softened. Here's the visual principle behind that. The eye reads the point of greatest width as the waist if there's a defined line above it and a wider shape below. A peplum creates that defined line at the mid-torso, then lets the fabric flare outward, and the brain fills in hourglass even when the underlying silhouette is more rectangular. It's optical geometry, not wishful thinking. A woman I styled a while back had avoided peplum tops entirely because she associated the word with the 2012 version. Rigid, sculpted, almost architectural. We found her a soft jersey peplum with a gentle flare, and she put it on expecting to hate it. She didn't hate it. She bought it in 2 colors. The difference was entirely in the fabric, soft and draped versus stiff and structured. The key detail for women over 60 specifically: the peplum hem should hit at or just below the widest point of the hip, not mid-hip. A peplum that ends mid-hip creates a horizontal cut across the widest point, which emphasizes it. One that clears it keeps the eye moving downward and keeps the proportion balanced. That 1 inch of placement makes an enormous difference. Do it today. If you own a Peplum top, check where the hem actually hits you when you're standing. If it stops mid-hip, try belting it slightly higher so the flare starts at your natural waist instead. Top 6. The ruched or draped side top. And this one is doing something visually clever that most women have never had explained to them. Ruching, the gathered, slightly textured fabric on the side panels of a top. Creates visual texture specifically at the sides of the torso, and texture at the side does something counterintuitive. It draws the eye away from the center front, where most women are self-conscious, and distributes visual attention across the width of the garment instead. Beyond that, clothes that follow your shape softly, not tight, not shapeless, but slightly structured and draped, are what actually create a polished look after 60. Oversized, shapeless clothes are what make women look older, not age itself. Ruching is the literal physical structure that creates that soft follow effect. The fabric gathers at the side seams, pulling it gently toward the body at the waist without gripping or clinging at center front. The best versions of this top have ruching that runs vertically along both side seams, not across the center front. Vertical ruching creates length. Horizontal ruching across the stomach does the opposite and should be avoided on this particular style. Do it today. If you're shopping online and you see ruched sides, look at the direction of the gathering in the photo before you buy. Vertical ruching along side seams, yes. Horizontal gathering across the front, skip it. Top 7. The last one, and the one most lists bury or ignore entirely. A top in a bright, warm color worn close to the face. This one has nothing to do with cut, silhouette, or neckline. It's entirely about light and skin, and it's the fastest visible change on this entire list. Color used strategically near the face, through scarves, jewelry, and tops, brightens your complexion more effectively than makeup alone. Here's the physics of why. Warm, bright colors. Coral, turquoise, warm red, rich teal, soft gold, reflect their wavelengths of light back upward onto the face. Your face sits directly above the neckline, which means it's essentially being lit from below by whatever color you're wearing. A bright, warm color near the face acts like a subtle, flattering uplight, the kind photographers create artificially with a reflector held beneath a subject's chin. A dark, muted, or cool-toned color near the face does the opposite. It absorbs light rather than reflecting it, which can make the complexion appear more shadowed and sallow. No matter how good the skincare underneath, this is the actual mechanism behind why some women put on a particular top and immediately look 5 years more vital, and can't explain exactly why. It's not magic, and it's not just confidence. It's color temperature bouncing light onto their skin. Most women over 60 gravitate toward dark neutrals for perceived safety. Black, navy, charcoal, gray, and those colors are genuinely useful in other parts of an outfit, but worn all the way up to the face. They work against you optically in a way that no amount of brightening concealer can fully compensate for. Coral, turquoise, olive, powder blue, and fresh white can all brighten mature skin beautifully. And confident color near the face is one of the fastest visual refreshers available at any budget. Do it today. Hold a warm-toned top up directly under your chin in natural light. Then switch to a dark or neutral one and watch what happens to the light on your face. That test takes 30 seconds and tells you more about which colors actually work for your complexion than any color season quiz ever will. Here's the thread connecting all 7. Every single top on this list is doing one of 3 things: creating or implying a waist, directing the eye upward toward the face, or reflecting better light onto the complexion. That's it. Those are the only 3 jobs that make a top read as youthful on a woman over 60. Once you know that, you can walk into any store, look at any top, and ask 3 quick questions. Does this define or suggest a waist? Does the neckline pull the eye up? Does the color near my face work for my skin tone? If you can answer yes to at least 2 of those 3, the top will likely work. if you're answering no to all three. Put it back regardless of how much you love it on the hanger. The reason this matters, and I want to end on this specifically, is that most women over 60 are shopping on instinct built for a body they had 20 years ago. The tops that worked then worked for different reasons: different skin tone, different posture, different silhouette. The three questions above don't change, but the answers change as you do. Updating which tops pass those three tests is not about chasing youth. It's about knowing your current body and dressing it honestly and well. 7 tops, 7 real mechanisms. And the best part, most of these adjustments don't require a single new purchase. They require knowing what you're looking for and why it works. Style at 60 isn't about chasing 20. It's about understanding the visual language of clothing well enough to make it work for exactly the woman you are right now. And you've just added 7 new tools to that vocabulary. If this gave you something concrete to take into your closet today, give it a like. It helps this channel reach more women who need this, and subscribe to Style After 60 for more of this every week. Tell me in the comments, which of these 7 are you going to try first? And be honest, is the half-tucked button down going to get a second look? I read every single comment.